Everything I ever say, whether it's good or bad, comes from my heart. Yeah. And if it's wrong, then, you know, go ahead and finish with it. Let them check me. You know what I'm saying? But I'm going to say it as it comes from my heart, because that's what we need. Obviously, when, you know, I seen all of that. I seen the crack babies, all of that. So nothing America could show me, nothing these critics, nothing. Nobody can show me, can back me down. Yeah, my mother was in the Black Panther Party. She was like at a high position, which was like unheard of. Because of course, they're sexy, even in the Panthers. So, and my stepfather at the time, Shakur, he was also like a well-known like revolutionary. True, all my roots to the struggle are real deep. And then my godfather, Geronimo Pratt, you know, he was like having a top issue right with history campus on the West Coast.
Right, you just mentioned you were still serving a life sentence right now. Your mom was carrying you when she went to jail the first time. That's a very interesting story in itself. What happened to her? Why was she in jail?
Because, like, you know, everybody, so when the Panthers hit, the government panicked, and they had this thing called the COINTELPRO. And they felt like the Panthers were detrimental to American society, so they raided every Panther top, especially the ones who could do the most damage at the border. So my mother was 9 months pregnant, and 7 months pregnant, they put a match to the door and said, fire, fire. And you know, it's like 5 in the morning, so my mother opened the door and just burst in, put a shotgun to the pregnant child, and put a gun in her hand, said, don't move, die. Just murder the rest.
You know, on Black History Month, right? Turn up, celebrate the right way. Feel free, you know. Yeah. So you can tell everybody, Black History Month, you're teaching it. You gotta give me something to talk about, you know what I'm saying? 1738, okay, all right. We're gonna help somebody today. Because somebody got like a white supremacy, slave mentality going on, and they gonna look at this, we'll get into it. Black History Month. Method to the madness. Oh my God. I feel like I did it. You'll never hear the song the same way again. You ready? No. Jersey. Oh my God. What? Oh my God. What, is snow gonna stop today? I might go. Woo! I'm ready. Hey, so you better, like, you know, do what I say, right? How you gonna believe that? I hear that. How you gonna believe that? Black History Month. How you gonna believe that? Comments. Right? Alright? Let's go. So, bars, right? So they say, I'm gonna pop my pops, then go ham in my mom's. Wow. Have at least 4 seeds, now my brother's my sons. Ew. Now my daughter's my sister, and for them I ride, and when the truth comes out, suicide, right? Bars, right? Sex with his moms and all that, right? Right? Ratchet versus classic. Let's go, man. We only got 50 minutes. Let's go. That's the story I told you right there. That's what that is. Okay? I'm gonna pop my pops. He killed his father. He had sex with his mother. He had 4 kids with his mother. And when his mom found out she was having sex and had married her son, she committed suicide and he gouged his eye. He gouged his eye out. But this is a classic. This should be studied and we should sip tea and we should talk about it. But don't play this. Nobody died, right? But they'll sit in class all day. Mosaics. Look up for mosaics. This is classic literature. But then imagine, I can't touch that. What's wrong with you, man? Who got you programmed? We're going to scrub some hard wiring today. I can't waste time. I can't waste time. Somebody got to tell me the difference. Somebody got to break down the difference. Because I don't know if I told you, I got a degree in liberal arts. So I sat up under and heard it all day, and the only thing I could think of was, what's the difference? What's the difference? Like, well, this I ever heard in my life. There's no rap song that tops Oedipus. Nothing. You killed your father, had sex with your mother, and gouged your own eyes out. But 2 Live, man, let's go. Let's go. Let's go, right? Because if you don't, then you're going to look at Fetty Wap like something wrong, and you're going to look at Oedipus like a hero. So let's get into it. Let's get into it, right? Let's go. Trap queen versus drama queen. So here we have cooperative economics, right? We're making money together, we're in the trap, right? Positive pay, right? Juice and stove, right? Okay. Black male, female support and loyalty. Never let it go, right? Okay. We got business ownership. We not go work for the man, give me a good job, I'm gonna get this green, good job on the day. No, I'm doing myself, right? Right? Owning control, right? Over here, murdered his father, got fratricide, married his mother, got incest, gathered an eye out, got started self-mutilation, right? But you heard the beat, and somewhere in your mind, you judged it differently than you ever judged that. What's this? What's this right here? This is fine art. It's fine art. That's a Rembrandt.
Okay.
This is a Rembrandt. Anybody heard the name Rembrandt?
Yes.
Okay. Rembrandt the artist? Okay. Nobody knows what that's an image of?
Well, I can't see. Is that a bird eating it?
That's an eagle. It's a child.
Is eating a child?
Gadamine. You ever heard that? Gadamine? Okay. Greek mythology. There's a guy called Zeus. He's
Oh, that's right, Zeus.
God of all the gods. So the legend has it, or the myth goes, that he sent down for the most attractive mortal, right? You know what I mean? And he either became or sent an eagle to go bring the boy to him and make the boy his lover. So this is what they call, this image is called the rape of Gadamine. So God is a rapist, right? Of children, right? Male rape, right? Okay. That's why you got the unnecessary classic art, right? This is not pedophilia, this is not pornography, this is not inappropriate, this is classic art. They got their ascot on, and they looking at it, well, I see, right? Eternity in the drops of urine, right? That's what they do, right? All day, right? This is cool. The God comes and rapes the boy. The dad's mourning, he sends the dad some horses. He says, well, at least your son's immortal now that I'm raping him. Right? This is cool. This is good. This is Rembrandt. It's fine art. But Fetty Wap is a problem, right? This is fine art to me. I just did this for myself, actually. Bring me back here, be a little, a little hot after the first analogy. So now you see the all that. Okay. We back. Why you got Nicki Minaj? Man, you ain't get mad at Oedipus. Don't say nothing about Nicki. That's how I'm coming. You taping this, But I'm saying, why Nicki got mad? Get out of here, man. They got the fountain with the water coming out, the little boy and everybody on it. And I'm like, your niece right here, what's that about? But it's all good, right? It's all good. It's 20 feet tall, and you do this, right? No problem, right? But let me put Nicki up there, right? Please. Please, man, you gotta knock it at the root, man. Stop, you gotta stop, don't. Just don't. Because they'll try to do it. They'll try to, get all analytical and academic. Man, get out of my face. That's nonsense. All right, Carol dies 1,000 times. So nuts. Let that go. Okay. This is what we're talking about. So we gotta put it in context. Okay. Conflict not bridge these rights. Okay. Right, freedom of speech, right? Infringing the freedom of the press, interfering with the right to peaceably assemble, or prohibiting the petitioning for governmental redress of grievances. Wow, we could do that all day, right? We could do free speech, we could do reparations, okay, we could raise and assemble. Put it in context, right? That's why I put that picture up there. You gotta put it in context. Because you really never had that, right? Second Amendment, right? Protects and rights to keep and bear arms. We're gonna stop right there because that's what we've covered so far for the most part. But we can keep going. It gets better, But we're not gonna talk about the denial of these things like it's a brand new deal, right? So some of y'all might know Sam Smith right there, right? Okay, but who's this? Who's this Sam Smith look like? The precursor, right? Who's this? Anybody know him now? Anybody know him?
J. Edgar Hoover.
He didn't look familiar in the other one, did he?
No.
Looked like he was passed.
Allegedly, was black himself.
What?
That rumor doesn't surprise those who observe some of those blacks who pass over and become white bigots to cover their tracks, or perhaps they just suffer from self-hatred.
Okay, I mean, it's getting deep. It's getting deep. But J. Edgar Hoover, like we always talk about the boy, he the devil, he the worst thing. Like, he was a brother. That's crazy. One Drop. This is another book, right? Y'all was saying that's another picture of him, right? I don't know. I don't know. What you think? His waves is kicking, though. His waves is kicking. His waves, he got the waves. That's his
posse.
No, that's the same dude. They went on vacation, 100 pictures together.
That's his friend.
Hey, I'm just gonna show the pictures. I'm gonna keep it moving, right? So let's start from the beginning, right? The interesting part is J. Edgar Hoover attacked Black America. Now the rumors he's black. J. Edgar Hoover attacked gambling, and he was said to be a notoriously compulsive gambler. J. Edgar Hoover waged, countless verbal assaults against homosexuality. Like, this is deep. This self-hatred thing is like a deep thing. Like everything you are, you hate. But let's go to Paulo Freire, right? Okay, this is Manzanilla. He worked for him, right? In the beginning. So this is the guy who served. This is 1909. Get chronology, right? Start chronology. Organized General Intelligence Unit. This is before the FBI, right? He's the one who recruited J. Edgar Hoover, right? Something called the Enemy Alien Bureau, dealt with the Austrians and the Germans during the war, right? Something called, ever heard of Pomerades? Ever heard the term of Pomerades? Well, he was dealing with anti-war activists. They were trying to seize people's money that were Nazi sympathizers, things of that nature. But then there's this issue here, right? People that could be deported, right? So it says he's moving against radicals. Palmer's reply on November 17th described the threat anarchists and Bolsheviks posed to the government. More than half the report documented radicalism in the black community. So as the rules changed, they asked him, like, why haven't you acted? Why haven't you made some moves, against these people, these sympathizers, these Germans, this and that? And this dude's report, half the report, more than half the report, documented radicalism in the black community and the open defiance black leaders advocated in response to racial violence and rioting of the past summer. As though there should be another response to radical violence rioting than defiance. You should just sit and take it, I guess. But this dude recruited J. Edgar Hoover. So we got to start here. Because this is the original, I got the whole world at war, but I'm afraid of the black people around the corner. I'm going to dedicate my time, effort, and energy to the local blacks and not real problems. So we'll see that with Hoover, because those things are mafia, but he want to follow Garvey around. So there's parallels here. The fear, the focus on things that are less significant, and the racial bias. In 1919, Hoover himself targeted Garvey, referring to Garvey as a notorious Negro agitator. Hoover zealously set about to gather damaging evidence. Didn't say catch him in the crime, right? Didn't say reveal unconstitutional, unlawful behavior. You gotta look at the language, it's different.
Keep it respectable. I don't want it in school. I don't want it sold to children. That's an infamy. My city, we would keep the traffic in the dark, people, the colors. They're animals anyway, so let them get sold.
Right? Talk about it with Thomas Jefferson. We talk about that with Heavy Duty. They call us animals, and I don't agree with them, right? Since he's the Godfather, if anybody hasn't seen the movie. So people always say, wow, what are you talking about? Like, why are you, thinking that this is the case? And I'm like, well, these classified documents and cinema and news and music are saying that this is kind of what happened. Like, why would you make that up? Just to incriminate yourself and make yourself look other than who you were?
Several leaders inside and out of the radio community came together for a press conference recently under leading New York radio station WBLS. The station is taking a formal stand on stopping radio and TV airplay of negative music that's taking a toll on the community.
What we're saying is that we are taking a hard look. We've set up a system to screen the music that comes to our radio stations so that music which in its content promotes violence and misogyny, that is the hate of women, is going to be screened out.
Critics have singled out gangster rap as the reason for the negative outbreak, but the panel disagrees.
I've got to say to you that we're not talking about gangster rap here. There's all kinds of stuff that's in pop music is involved.
WBLS is also taking this stand with hopes that other stations will follow their lead to end this type of music.
First Amendment, right? We looked at that? Damn that. It says stop this type of music. She didn't say to put it on an age-specific medium and be relegated. We will take your First Amendment rights. We're going to stop this kind of music. I think this is one of the most misguided periods of African-American struggle since enslavement. More energy and effort went to things that weren't productive for African people during this period than any other. From here up until they buried the N-word while the dude who was accused of rape, because the girl was 17, he was 18, that football player dude, I don't know if you remember that case? The day he was getting exonerated, they was burying a word. Like just totally off the mark with where your energy and effort should be dedicated.
The Smoking Gun website is reporting that Reverend Al Sharpton, a.k.a. President Obama's #1 cheerleader, and he worked as an FBI informant.
I need that gunshot, that URL, the rap,
1980s.
Don DeMarco.
Featured on the cover of today's New York Post said Sharpton secretly reported conversations that he had with the mob. Earlier today, he responded to those allegations during a press conference. Take a look.
I was not and am not a rat, because I wasn't with the rats. I was never told I was an informant with a number. So in my own mind, I was not an informant. I was cooperating with investigations.
We also got our hands on an HBO sports video.
But wait, it gets worse.
Undercover FBI agent acting as a drug trafficker negotiating a cocaine deal with none other than Al Sharpton himself. Take a look at this. Now, that video is reportedly from 1983, and after it aired, Al Sharpton threatened to sue HBO for millions of dollars.
I bet he did. Nobody's safe. Nobody's safe. But he hating on rap. You talk about bringing hundreds of kilos.
Right.
But the problem is rap. Several seats. You permanently get what you just. What are you talking about, dude? What are you talking about? Like, are you serious? Political football, you gotta look past people talking about. We're gonna protect the women so they can sniff this cocaine. I'm bringing it tomorrow. Like, what?
In April of 1971, a group of anti-war activists broke into an office building in Media, Pennsylvania. They were searching for records of the Selective Service System, the U.S. government agency in charge of drafting young men into the Army to fight in the Vietnam War. The activists planned to destroy any draft records they found. But the draft agency shared offices with the FBI, and accidentally, the activists discovered FBI files documenting many years of illegal war by the U.S. government against civil rights, anti-war, and other progressive movements. They had stumbled upon a highly secret official U.S. government program named the Counterintelligence Program, or COINTELPRO. They didn't destroy the files, but leaked them to the U.S. press, breaking open the shocking story of COINTELPRO.
Back in the 1950s and the 1960s and the 1970s, the United States government had programs, some involving simple surveillance, some involving ways of getting information, some involving plots, and basically to frame people for crimes, and some involving outright murder.
It was secret at the time because it was by and large illegal.
Really what COINTELPRO is, you know, militarization of criminal justice.
It was a code word that was used by the FBI, actual war against the entire left movement.
To eliminate, intimidate, incarcerate, and terrorize a people.
It was a covert war strategy, and it was done because the government thought there was a war going on.
No context. Like, weren't you in school getting a degree for 4 to 6 to sometimes 8 years, and didn't somebody mention the history of the agitation? Like, there's some stress between these groups. Like, there's some reasons behind why don't they trust the police? Anderson and Cooper, I don't know, I have no idea. Hey, dude, you look like you're about 40-something. Like, look, you there?
Individuals continuing to do what we've been seeing for days now, simply walking through the water. We have to assume it's disgusting water and rapidly becoming disease-filled water, just trying to get to some location with what meager possession they have. We see that picture over and over and over again. As much as you see that picture, though, you simply get chills every time you see these poor individuals. As Jack Cafferty just pointed out so tragically, so many of these people, almost all of them that we see, are so poor and they are so black and this is gonna raise lots of questions.
It's sure that will raise questions. It raised a question in me just now. Had to do it.
The civil rights movement and squash attempts to desegregate the state and register African Americans to vote.
So you get it, right? Sovereignty Commission of Mississippi. No hoods. No white faces with infiltration. I just want to, I'm not trying to let any white faces off the hook, and I don't want you to think that I'm Bill Cosby, Charles Barkley on you. But at the same token, I can't have you, enter a situation this volatile with this many people agitating and being undercover without knowing that they do comment on colors. Like they paid some black folks to ruin the civil rights movement. Point blank period. Like, this is the good part. Okay, official cartel label took place between 1956 and 1971. I don't know why they got 71. I guess they're trying to make me think it's over. Right. You make your own decision on that one. Okay, FBI records. Probably the same. We get to the shooting. So silly. Shoot.
Yo, look, are you crazy? What the hell did you do? I wasn't me. I heard nobody. Catch. The man.
Beat the pad, of course. I think that's that. Beat the pad, of course. Okay. So they said, oh, there's no guy behind him, a thing, he's acting like a conspiracy, like there's somebody orchestrating and pulling these strings, and there's a guy named, Steve Coakley, right? I said name names, right? So this is my man, Rondo number 9, with his bazooka, and this is Wallace Helms, who I know you've never heard of, right? Because I remember that time where we were talking about somebody being gangster. I said, don't test anybody gangster. I was talking about the guy, the Batman, the theater shooter. Everybody would think he's a punk, right? Little red hair and all that, goofy eye. Like, don't sleep on people. So much intro with this. Okay. I just need a little bit. Let's see this dude right here.
Okay.
Okay.
It's a little uglier now.
It's a little uglier.
General stuff. In Los Angeles, COINTELPRO specialist Richard Wallace Held dreamed up the idea of sparking a, quote, shooting war, end quote, between the Panthers and a cultural nationalist organization known as United Slaves.
So King had a dream, Wallace Held had a dream.
Held caused a series of viciously derogatory cartoons to be produced, attributed to each group, has each group ridiculing the other, and then has these cartoons distributed within the communities where both targeted groups are attempting to organize and recruit. Okay? A result. On January 17, 1969, members of United Slaves shoot to death Los Angeles Panther leaders John Huggins and apprentice Bunchy Carter in a classroom at UCLA, Campbell Hall. The next day, Held reports to headquarters on this successful, his word, operation, and recommends that given these favorable results, again his words, a new batch of cartoons be prepared and distributed. A result. On May 23rd, Panther John Savage shot to death in San Diego by United Slaves gunmen. The next day, there's another exchange between Held and headquarters in which the former takes credit and the latter approves yet another round of cartoons. Result? August 14, Panther Sylvester Bell gunned down by United Slaves members on a San Diego street corner, and the process is repeated. Final known tally is on a scorecard prepared by the Bureau and distributed with attribution to United Slaves. It reads, us 6, Panthers 0. Now, at least one participant in coordinating the hit squads that were involved in this was Claude Huber, a known FBI infiltrator. The last report, Huber was living in South America. Meanwhile, bona fide United Slaves members who participated in the killings, such as the brothers George and Joseph Steiner, were subsequently convicted and sentenced to life for murder, so they're kind of on ice and out of the way. Thoroughly and understandably discredited within its own community as a result of its members' actions, not to mention the infiltrators' actions, United Slaves collapsed as an effective organization by 1970.
Agent provocateurs, right? I come in and I infiltrate the group, and then I become the old dog of the group and say, no, we need to ride them tonight. We need to stop doing all this talking. We need to go do this and shoot. So then they shoot the people. The dude who's the informant is living overseas. The people who did it with him, who got convinced to get hyped up in the back of their back, life in jail. And then the organization discredited. Right?
One, and Because of these hammer blows and numerous others undertaken by Hill's COINTELPRO team in cooperation with the local Red Squad, the LA Panther organization was also destroyed as a viable political force by the latter year. The demise of these two major black political entities within the Southern California community opened the way for the growth and consolidation of a rather different group, one against which the FBI can be shown to have directed no particular counterintelligence attention, known at the time as Common Revolution in Progress.
Sound familiar?
Think about what the first letters of those words. Crips. More generally recognized today by the acronym CRIPS, an organization which becomes, by all estimations, a primary drug importation and distribution enterprise in the Southern California region.
He said no COINTELPRO agitation against the
being suppressed.
Just let them do what they do.
The FBI is imposing certain
Went all in on the Panthers.
Constructive activities for political
Let the Crips sell all the drugs.
As for Held, he went on to play a leading role in the frame-up of LA Panther leader Geronimo Pratt, successor to Carter in this capacity.
Still at it.
Neutralization of white Panther supporters like Gene Seberg, and the establishment of a Minuteman-type paramilitary organization.
It's a lot of work.
Dubbed the Secret Army Organization.
He was putting in work.
Aimed at physical suppression of the Southern California left in toto. The story of SAO violence and the FBI's coordination and funding of its activities is a matter of public record. Okay, Held. He did these things. They're pretty much on record. He even acknowledged it. He turns to the cartoons that we're talking about earlier. Comes out in the San Francisco Chronicle a little later on. Well, quite a little later on, about 2 years ago, in fact. Yeah, I admit I was involved in a sophomoric campaign of putting out these bogus cartoons of Panthers and us. Now, 6 Dead is sophomoric in this guy's mind. You might wonder what he's going to do when he gets serious about things, okay? But in any event, at the end of this period, he was rewarded for his services by being promoted special agent in charge of San Juan Field Office, that's in Puerto Rico, during the late 1970s. And in 1985, coordinated, was the overall commander, in fact, of the largest anti-subversive sweep since the Palmer raids. This was directed against the independence movement on that island. Okay, this kind of rolls up the independentistas for a little while. Makes the Bureau very happy, so they reward him again. He's now posted as a special agent in charge of San Francisco field office. He's in the Bay Area. And very interestingly, okay, he's a bit double-hatted because he also serves as the Bureau's West Coast specialist and primary spokesperson on the war on drugs.